It's 5:10. We got 3 of these to do. Let's fucking do this. All right,
10 minutes each.
All one breath. Let's go.
One breath podcast. Everybody.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pokemon. Gotta watch them all the podcasts. We watch every single. All right, I'm not gonna do that. Hey guys, welcome back to Pokemon. Gotta watch them all the podcast. We watch every single Pokemon movie. We talk about the things we love, the things we hate, and then we rank them in a big ass list of movies. And trust me, this list is big ass already. That sounds like we're talking about our level of rating them. My apologies. But as per usual, I have the same. I've got Dante,
Yo,
Kanai,
Hello,
Chris,
hey,
John, and today we are talking about our first it's kind of animated, but not fully animated movie.
live action.
Live action.
So if you go to the website, it doesn't count it as one of the movies.
Correct. So normally I start by being like, we watched Detective Pikachu. Before we talk about it, let's read the synopsis. And in the script I wrote, psych, movie ain't on the website. So this and also Zarude are not on the website for like a summary.
Right.
So this is a
you
movie
wrote
about...
one instead.
I didn't.
I have a monologue.
Yeah, so I'm just going to tell you the whole plot of the movie like we did 12 episodes ago. But I mean, at this point, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Detective Pikachu is a movie about a Pikachu. He's a detective. But the main plot is, kid comes to town, his dad dies, he's coming here to find a funeral, whatever, do the whole thing. Meets Pikachu, he's like, your dad's not dead, he was my partner, we're going to solve this mystery together. And that's the crux of this film.
Tell me Justice Smith can't play Miles.
You know, if he, not bulked up, but if he kind of like toned up a little bit.
Get the Marvel treatment.
Yeah, I can see it. Because I only know him from this, and
That's
he played
the only thing I know him from,
played a weird nerdy guy in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
The first, one of the first or second, I don't know, but
Second one.
second one, yeah. I remember him from that. That's the only thing I know him from. But I work with it.
The only thing I know is...
Yeah. But you know, dinosaurs. That's one thing. We're on Pokemon. Dante, what'd you think of Detective Pikachu?
Solid movie. I was a little worried that because when I initially saw this movie in theaters, I was really enamored by it. I was like, wow, this is like one of the strongest like video game adaptation movie wise, and I still think that's true.
Like better than Sonic?
Yes and no. I enjoyed Sonic for what it is, but I still think it falls into the regular movie tropes of things have to be an alien in order to exist in our world sort of situation.
Okay.
Pokemon is one of those situations where I think it's done correctly. Like this world just happens. It is their world, and you don't need to explain it through some weird alien
All the
technology.
Pokemon fell through the big rings.
I think it could be argued. I would probably have to watch Sonic again just to be sure, but I think I enjoy this movie a little bit more for what it is. As personally, and we'll probably get into this a little bit more, the longer that the movie stretched out though, the less enamored I became with it, because in my opinion, it just feels like they keep shoving information on top of you near the end. I'm like, why? Okay. And it's mostly, I think, to explain one particular plot point that they were dancing around the entire movie. Yeah. I'm not necessarily sure I enjoy the payoff, but regardless.
Because I know when we saw this the first time, John, Dante, and myself, we saw it together. I think
we kissed.
your wife, and was Connor with us?
No, it was
just us 5.
It was Evan and DJ.
Yeah. Okay. We all saw it together. I remember we spent like 20-30 minutes afterwards in the parking lot, like, you remember the Sneasel? That was cool.
Everybody kept saying,
and the Trico on the glass.
Everybody kept going, all right, well, I gotta go. And
somebody will bring
something
up.
Somebody will bring something up. Like, well, yeah, I really like that part too.
There was Charizard, wasn't there? Greninja? Yeah. Our names. Kanai, I know you said you hadn't seen it at all.
Yeah, this is my first time watching the movie.
Chris, you had seen it before.
I watched it when it came out initially on DVD with Sophie.
Okay, so then God damn it, Jesus Christ. Kanai.
I gotta start the episode over.
What did you think of Detective Pikachu?
I liked it.
I'll give you my synopsis again.
I think the big thing for me is like a lot of people hype this movie up a lot, and I do like it. I do like this movie. But a lot of people shared the images all over, so like I had already seen what a lot of them looked like in 3D. There was almost no like magic of seeing them for the first time, except for the fights. The fights, I was like, wow, this actually looks good. But like the plot, so when I was watching it, I was like, is this just the first movie, but like in live action, and I was really worried. I was
Yeah.
like, I really don't want to watch the first movie a third time. And like,
Especially since we just came
yeah,
out of
yeah,
this shit, right?
yeah. So I'm sitting here watching, and I'm like, no, no.
CGI didn't work, so they went live action.
Yeah.
And like, homie like shot out of the roof, and I'm like, God damn it. And then,
It
then
definitely
the
felt like it.
yeah, yeah, and then like the car flips, and it cuts to homie, and I was like, okay, all right,
Okay.
whatever, fine,
Right.
okay,
I
we're
was
good.
waiting for Ash to walk out.
Dude, I was waiting for this to be something I was gonna be like,
The
like-
storm kicks in. They're all trapped. in the
yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
Center.
I was waiting for some other mystical Mewtwo bullshit that I was gonna have to watch again.
The
But-
same. Oith. Yeah.
But
it's like
me
come
watching
on.
it, like as it progressed, I was like, okay. And then like the Cubone scene's really cute. But like, I think that there's a certain level of like, wow, they could do more of these, and they could give it like a full scale like trilogy if they wanted.
Yeah.
I agree with Dante. I don't really like the payoff. That's me personally,
Sure.
and Dante apparently. But
And me personally.
and me
They're
personally,
on the same page.
but also Dante. But me personally,
Yeah.
no.
Stop the podcast now. Me and I are agreeing on something.
We're gonna open up a black hole.
We're in the darkest timeline.
I can't wait to see them talk about Secret of the Jungle together. I'm excited to see what they have to say to each other.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. I feel like a lot of the things you're supposed to get the first time you watch it, I'd seen through like either memes or like screenshots. So like I feel like I missed that aspect, like that first time seeing everything 3D. I do like that they kind of like shoehorn a lot of them into the beginning, and then they just stop doing it, and they're like, here's other ones you've already seen.
Yeah.
Like somebody was like, yeah, Arcanine's in it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, as I was watching, I was like, there's like 6 Arcanine in this movie. There's a lot of Arcanine, and they're all police officers.
Yep.
Which like I kind of like that they stuck to the bit and then like gave them jobs, and that was cool. Like the Trico attendant and the Ludicolo coffee guy. Like I liked them. They were cool.
Yeah. Once
But-
we talk about the plot more we get into it.
Yeah.
A big
I
thing.
love that though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Machamp. Yeah.
And there's just a Snorlax chill in the middle of the street. And
Yeah, that's
go
such a
around.
This is a normal occurrence.
That's such a good job for Machamp because he has the 4 arms. He can just like point in every direction. It was so good. But yeah,
Yeah.
like the movie. I do think that there are parts of it that took me out of it, but overall, I enjoyed watching it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. Going back, this is the first time I've rewatched it since we saw it in theaters, so I don't know if that applies to you two as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting going back because I still had a great time with it, but there was definitely like it's release week. Everybody's talking about
Yeah.
it. It was a spectacle.
There was a
moment.
hype. Yeah.
We're going back. I'm like, I still enjoy this movie. I would watch it again after just finishing it. But yeah, it was more special 2 years ago when
Yeah.
this dropped. So
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm in the boat of I think if you watch the trailers, I think that they give away like some of the best parts of this movie.
I agree. Yeah, I remember when they showed Mewtwo in the trailer. I'm like, fuck.
And like
do
I was
that.
like, the Mewtwo reveal would have been great. The Mr. Mime bit would have been so much better had they just left that out of the trailer. And then like the fight with Charizard where he's like, "Get me the hell out of here!" That would have been better had it not been in the trailer. But
I get it. Yeah.
like outside of that, I loved it. Seeing live action Squirtle was the most adorable little thing. I love that little dude.
I can't remember
And I'm
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
The Bulbasaurs are adorable.
Yeah.
They just make cat noises.
I think all 3 starters from Gen 1 look fucking precious in this
They
movie.
look so
And their
adorable.
final.
And their finals.
Because,
So I missed Venusaur. I didn't see him.
Venusaur isn't as prominent
Right.
as the other two.
So if
Totodile
you
is
watch
pretty
if you
cute
watch
in
the
this.
first trailer for this movie,
Yeah.
Charizard has fur.
Looks furry.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
people
It does.
bitch and moan about it, and then they change it to scales in the actual movie.
Should have did that to Totodile. I swear Totodile looks furry.
Totodile had fur. It was weird.
Totodile's weird because it's like it should not have fur, but I like the way it looked.
I didn't hate it, but part of me was just kind of like also at the same time, no.
Did it feel like a plush, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's the. And I learned a lot of them have fur. A lot of them.
Like I'm okay with Jigglypuff having fur.
That was
For some
weird
reason,
for me.
Totodile was a step too far.
Nah, Jigglypuff made sense. Jigglypuff, because it has like that big curl
Yeah,
of hair. So
it's
I
weird
just
because
assumed it was
it's
all hair.
always looked like just a. I thought about it after Detective Pikachu. It always just seemed like a fleshy bit that looked like hair because 2D doesn't
Right, it doesn't translate
that.
well, yeah.
And then seeing, I'm like, No, it makes sense.
So when I
Just
see a
weird.
when we see Sylveon ever, then it needs to be flesh and not fur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just more skin. Just
No, I need flat. I just need 2 skin ribbons just flowing around. I need
My
it so bad.
uncircumcised
Did we get to
Sylveon.
the?
Would
did we get
Sylveon
to the
just
end
not
of-
be Kezu?
Did we get to the end of your summary?
The only like extra bit is just I thought it was really fun. It was really entertaining. I know Sophie really enjoyed it, and to see her be excited for it made me feel a lot better. And I was like, she loves the Pokemon, but she really likes Apom.
I get it.
I love pretty much one of my favorites.
The human teeth.
I think that's what I discovered is what I initially was so freaked out about the first time I watched it. Because I was just like, every time I looked at Apom, I was
love
like, there's
Apom.
something that's weird about it to me.
It has human teeth.
They're super cute. But
I'm
yeah,
100% sure
Those
that.
like straight pearly white.
Do any of you guys actually like his evolution?
I don't like Ambipom.
I've always loved
I don't
Ambipom.
dislike Ambipom, but once we got him in Soul Link,
There's
we got
some-
Ping Pong. I was
Did the
like,
anime help with liking
no,
Ambipom?
Soul Link helped.
Okay, so I watched the anime and I was like, oh, I like Ambipom, and then
Swiss
he
with
evolves
Ambipom.
into he's like
Swiss
evolving,
with Ambipom.
and I was like, okay, I love the evolution a lot.
I think
That's
it's weird that Ambipom loses his thumbs. Like his actual hands lose thumbs, and then he gets an extra tail hand.
I love it. When the first time I played Gen 4, I didn't
Does
care for
Apom
it.
have thumbs?
I think he does, yeah.
He has a thumb and 3.
Interesting. Damn it. Talk about evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution always doesn't make sense.
He didn't need his thumbs anymore because he got 3 new ones on his tails. But
What did you think of the movie, Gian?
Evolution would make sense. That's the whole Servine line. They lose hands.
Thank you. That's not the movie
that's
you're
what I thought
talking
about Detective Pikachu. I liked it. The first time I watched it, I went in and I went very negative because it's like it's another bullshit movie. Hollywood's gonna ruin, and then I ended up liking it a lot the first time. The second time, because I knew what was going to happen, I paid more attention to the background Pokemon. Yeah.
And there's a lot more Pokemon. So clearly, they were giving a limited list of Pokemon to use, and they used them.
Yeah.
Like I don't think. The number of starters that I saw was insane. They're everywhere.
A lot of Squirtles, a lot of Charmanders,
Yeah.
a lot of Tricos.
But like
So
you know when you
nice.
watch,
So
you know when you watch like Jimmy Neutron and like things are happening in the background, even though the focus is Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's what this movie was. Like you can see Pokemon chasing each other, or you'll see like a little like flying by, and I like that a lot because that's proof of concept. And proof of concept is probably like my favorite thing in Pokemon, which is basically saying this is a Pokemon world. So you need to show Pokemon actually existing outside of battles, outside of trainer, being with the trainers. The Machamp bit was awesome with the direct traffic. They stay true to a lot of the lore for the Pokemon, which is what I enjoy. So because I watched it already, I wasn't too like into the story and more about like the Pokemon in the background. My only scene that I didn't like was the Torterra bit.
Oh,
So I
that
love the
bit.
Torterra bit. I don't like that we don't get a clear shot on any given point
Until
of
it's
the
done.
entire Torterra, because that's one of my favorite Gen 4 starters.
That's fair.
And I wish that like once they got away, they would have turned around and seen the whole thing.
I was really confused about how that happened. They were just like they were experimented on, and I was like,
Well, you see one early on too in the little chamber
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because they
And it
give you
was
the
small.
misdirection
They're
of like,
experimenting with Gigantamax.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
guess.
that was the joke I made. So I was like, oh, Gigantamax.
Mountain maxing. I think it was.
But apart from that, I liked the movie a lot. I think we all knew Mewtwo. He's bound to be like Mewtwo Charizard. They had to be
I
the
didn't
photo.
know. I didn't know Mewtwo was in it.
Oh, I meant because of the trailer.
Oh,
So,
I-
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I'll
but-
give the original trailer its props. 'Cause I think it has a much better reveal for Mewtwo than the movie does.
Yeah.
Because the trailer is, I need a hero, and it's like, and then just Mewtwo bursts from the balloon
And the
in the
music
flames,
cuts.
and it cuts, and it's like, oh no, and like I'm like, that's fucking. I wish I didn't see that, but that was like, and the movie was like, Mewtwo's here, he blows up a car. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, which they got me all for because like I was like initially like really hyped for seeing Mewtwo because I'm like, what is bringing him into this? And then when we found out,
Bullshit.
I was like, like I remember I sat up.
Yeah,
and
I'm still all sorts of confused as to why. But
But
okay.
like, my initial reaction was I was just, huh? That nothing more. Okay.
When'd you get here?
Sure.
See, I did the thing where I remember the first time I watched. So my wife sat next to Tony, and then I can't remember who I sat next to.
I want to say I was next to Dante. I think I
But
was.
I
free
remember
on the
turning
left
to
and
the next
center,
person
right?
to me when you see the main villain's like office, and he has the
Yeah,
three
the
entities,
yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah, he's evil. And I think it might have been.
That's
DK.
one of my biggest freaking gripes about the movie.
Yeah, and I think DK is the one that's like, how do you know? I'm like, who the fuck puts 3 statues of like time, space, and a god in the middle?
Howard Clifford
How do
is
you
here
not?
to save the world.
How do you not see that?
Yeah.
Not to mention Pikachu has a foreshadowing line where it's like, oh, that's a bad guy car.
Yeah.
And the entire time I'm just sitting in this room, looking at this guy, and he's like explaining, but here's my son. And I'm like, they're really trying hard for us to
Like-
try to get away from him being the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like they took notes from Gen 6, which the only I fault Gen 6 heavily. When you see Lysander, you immediately know he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like same premise with this. Like they
Yeah.
took their notes and they applied it to this. Because the
So,
They
second
just
they
really
showed
like
him, I was
the
like,
movie
what is?
Hobo with a Shotgun, and they put the hobo.
When I was done with this movie, I did make the comment, this is just X-Men 1. Like the Ryan Singer trilogy, where Magneto uses Rogue to try to turn everybody into mutants.
Yeah.
Because this guy was trying to turn everybody into...
Pokémon stars.
Yeah, it's literally the...
That's the next movie.
It's the same...
Pokémon
It's almost the same plot as,
Yeah.
But overall, I liked it.
Good.
Yeah.
Before we get into more about the movie, I want to point out a couple things. Of course,
Also, Psyduck was the star of the fucking
it was
show.
pretty good. It was pretty great. I like the banter in the back seat. That they're just like, oh, so I have to massage your feet or you'll blow up my. Okay. Okay.
The booster seats?
Yeah.
So cute.
His eyes are so exaggerated there. I love it. Where he's just like looking sideways at Psyduck.
And now Catherine Newton is in Marvel.
Who is?
The girl, she's in Marvel.
Who's playing Marvel?
She's playing Scott Lang's daughter.
Well, damn! Look at that.
Yeah.
Nah, she does look familiar.
Ant Girl.
Okay. Ant Girl, Cassie Girl. So yeah, of course, Pikachu, voiced by Ryan Reynolds. You know, because you put that man in a movie because you want to make money. But
Should
another
have been
thing,
Danny DeVito.
It should have been Danny DeVito.
that,
But he
do y'all remember when they asked him? Because that was the game, like we're making Detective Pikachu. Everyone took the game art. Speaking of which, we're supposed to have a sequel to the game for Switch. I don't know where that is.
Can
That was
they-
like 3 years
Can they take the original game, re-release the HD?
That's what I need. Yep.
With Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they did that, they put the art next to Dan DeVito, and when they tweeted him, he was like, "The fuck's a Pikachu?"
So anyways, I started shooting, right?
So I started blasting. But the one thing I thought was really cool, I didn't know this till like a year afterwards. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the art on social, just different social media, where it's like the Pokemon in real life, like how they look, and that, some of the stuff like these things here.
Yep, I love
So
those.
this artist is one of the things that inspired the direction of the movie.
Oh,
so they
cool.
went to him, saw this, and said, "Hey, we've seen your art." So they brought him on for art direction to design all the Pokemon. So they're all
Wow.
Very
initially
smart.
started from him creating
Very
their things.
smart.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now they did
That's how you
take
know
some.
Game Freak.
of
That's
the,
how you know Game Freak's not involved.
right.
If that
Yeah.
was Game Freak, they would have sued him and his family.
Yep.
And
That's the
everything.
same thing that they did with the Sonic movie too.
Yeah.
Is that they hired a fan person who's known
Chris
for
Chan, yeah.
doing.
Whoa! Whoa! Let's not talk
And
about that here.
I think it's very smart of companies like this to do that
Yeah,
because they have very strong visions.
Yeah.
I always said I never understand why these Marvel shows don't hire cosplayers who look the part and they go the extra mile to make. Some of these cosplayers can make their costumes look way better than the actual production value. And I'm just like, yeah, like after they used Daisy Ridley for Star Wars, I'm like, you can grab anybody and just drop them in.
Yeah. But yeah, RJ Palmer is the gentleman who came on to do a lot of designs for
Hey,
the
shout out to
Pikachu.
him.
Very cool guy. I
Just
just
did that for Sonic Man.
Yeah.
I just followed him on Twitter. I didn't realize I wasn't.
I'm
But
I'm
That's
gonna
like
follow
a
him after
Some
this.
very
I didn't
cool
know
stuff.
his name.
Respect
I always see the art, but I never.
yeah, because it's one of the ones that people just shared. It's like, ooh, this
Yeah.
is,
If
it's
people
all-
take the OC and then they post
It
on
makes
their
sense.
page,
Chansey is nightmare fuel. Have you seen Chansey?
Yeah.
I will state that Chansey is nightmare fuel.
Some Pokemon just shouldn't be real life. Like they should not look like real life versions.
What do you
Is
think
that
was the
terrifying?
worst looking Pokemon?
In this movie,
That one?
No, that's a lot. That's a lot better. There's one where it's just like all folds.
There's definitely
and I'm
one
just
where I
like,
saw
oh
it and I was
God,
like,
I don't want
no.
to see
This
that.
didn't translate. Yeah.
yeah.
That's Jigglypuff.
I don't want to say Ludicolo because I like the Ludicolo.
Ludicolo!
But like he was cute, but like at the same time when he was like, "Bleh," I was like, ugh. Like there are just some. Probably Mr. Mime is like one of the weirder looking ones to me. Like
Dodgeball shoulders.
Yeah, I don't like seeing him
So
translated.
Mr. Mine's the worst one for me. Golurk is probably one of the best. Seeing
Golurk was
Golurk?
so fucking cool to
Golurk
see.
translates so well.
Wish
to
he
TV.
had more screen time, dog.
It's just at the
It's
very
so
beginning when he
good.
gets to the city. He's just like,
So good.
He's
I
all
wanted them
lit
to
up.
do
I
the
think almost the same for Dodrio, which
I want
isn't
to see him fly.
anywhere near in level, but that.
Yeah, just see him do.
it was so cool.
So I think he's one of the
I think-
Pokemon that I never saw in 3D, and then like seeing him here, I was like, holy shit, he translated very well. Like he didn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked great. I was very happy when I saw him.
As much as we kind of gripe about it, I personally thought Mewtwo looked good.
You two didn't look that bad.
It's not like I think
pretty good.
I think he looked alien, and I think
Yeah.
that worked for him.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish we saw Mew,
Sure.
Yeah, that was
but
good.
then it would have actually been the first movie,
He's
and I
under
would
the
have had more to
truck.
complain about.
He's
it.
under the truck.
Under the truck.
Yeah.
Waiting to get caught.
I think Trico's head looked really big, but I also thought it was fucking adorable. Where he's like sleeping on the window, it's like, and he like
Yeah.
screams back to the sleeping guy.
What
Like,
do you
that's
think
adorable.
of the? Can I talk about something story related?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What do you think of the Ditto reveal? Did you not see that coming? Because I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
So-
see
When
that
I
coming.
first saw it, I didn't see it coming.
I knew that the person was weird, but never in my mind. The Ditto thing never slipped my mind.
When I saw the initial pink-haired person, I was like, that's either a reference to something that I'm just not getting at the moment, or it's something else.
Because the whole time I thought it was Jesse.
Yeah. I was like, because they also were like, the vials have R's on them, so I was like, oh, it's Team Rocket, yeah. So like the whole time I was like, oh, is that like the Jesse character? Okay, cool. And then like, which by the way, now that you say that, Ditto itself is not the most terrifying translation. It's any of its transformations are absolutely
You talk
disgusting.
about Ditto Machamp, that was just like,
It was so fucking gross, and I hated it. And
I didn't
like
mind it.
the weird, like slimy body parts as it's transforming, I was like, ugh. That and Apom screaming.
If you want a live action, you got to take the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Apom's like weird wet scream when it was like the fucking strands of saliva. I was like,
love
that's
that. I
it's
love that.
real, but it's gross. And like the Ditto reveal, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But like when I saw it transform, I was like, ooh, like I was not a fan.
Yeah, I did not see that at all. Sorry.
So like I figured Ditto was gonna be involved at some point.
Mm.
I was like, where's Ditto? Where is it? Where is
Yeah.
this plot point gonna happen?
I think he did a good
I
job of
didn't
hiding
expect
it.
it where
Yeah.
it popped up though.
Yeah, because he comes in at the beginning when it's dad and son, like, hey, we're here to save the world. And they cut, and it's like, God, you're such a dumb old man. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's
And
very
then,
brief.
yeah, Ditto transforms into like an assistant to push dad's wheelchair, and that's like it. I think maybe we see him in the office again for like a moment. But yeah, there's nothing that implies Ditto plays a bigger role until like falls out. When we saw it, I think when the son fell out of the cabinet, I'm like, but you're. And it was one of those things where the movie, it was like 2 seconds in my head. I'm like, I have an hour to think about what is happening right now, and it took forever. It's Ditto.
I did
And then
see
he came in
it,
and I was like, there it is.
Oh God! Ditto face on a human body. Ugh.
So I remember. So when I watched the scene where they reveal, but they showed
Live
Ditto for the
action
first
human
time.
body.
And the whole time I'm like, why was the plot point for this? And it wasn't until like this motion, or like a split second, you feel like Ditto. I was like,
Yes.
Ditto, it's Ditto. Like, everybody else seen the movie already, and I guess they knew, and I was like, Ditto, that's Ditto.
It's Ditto, guys. We got it.
I do remember Ditto being part of the bad guys, but I will admit I completely forgot, like, because Roger was in the car. I think that's the son's name. And he was
Our
or
main
is it-
character?
the son.
Oh, the son,
was
yes, that's
reporter.
Roger.
He was in the car driving, and I was like, wait, I thought
Quiet.
he was a scapegoat because I don't remember him actually being evil.
Mm.
And I was like, oh no, wait, Ditto was both, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I honestly God, I thought that was Jesse at first. I was like, oh, they added Jesse and James. They're going on the covers. Jesse's working with this guy, and
Roger's
James.
James.
That should never happen, bro.
Yeah.
It was a sweet moment over again.
He was like, oh, dude, when he touches the water, Jesse. But yeah, so like the movie starts out, we see the lab stuff with Mewtwo, introducts everything, but then we get Tim and his friends like, hey, I found this really cool Pokemon, we should go get it. And it's just like a Cubone crying in the field. There's some great just like one-liner comments throughout the entire movie, and I'm wondering how many were like Deadpool style, where they sat at a table and Ryan Reynolds like, make him say this, and it was like, that's fucking gold. Because Pikachu has some fucking great lines in this movie.
Which Ryan Reynolds also did confirm, there is a rated R version of the film where Pikachu swears a whole lot more.
Give me the red band
Can
trailer.
we agree the Snubble looked fucking cute.
It did.
He looked really big.
Snubble
but-
is literally everything that I want
Wow.
Snubble to be if it was 3D. Like I saw that and I was like, I wish the movie was called Detective Snubble.
I like that he was like he's cute on the inside, and then like the guy leaves and he's just like petting him. He's like,
Yeah.
And I
Just,
love
like,
that they kept the whole puck sounds the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole time they're talking, you hear like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, trust me, I know that terror. So.
Yeah, Tim's friend's just like, yo, I'm worried about you. Everyone else is leaving town, become a Pokemon trainer, and you're just an accountant. And he's like, I'm happy here. But as they start to like go get the Cubone, he like pulls out the Pokeball. He's like, hey, little buddy. Not many people can pull off the wearing their dead mom's skull, but you do it really well. And it was just like, okay. Yeah. It was
I
one of
didn't
those-
like that,
it's an
huh?
approach.
You didn't like that?
He's pulling the strat too early, where it's in a Nuzlocke and you're about like 10 plus Pokeballs deep and trying to catch it,
I
and
know
then
where
the
you're going.
shit talk happens. He skipped right to
You're just a
that.
fucking bitch. Get the fucking ball.
Your mom's dead. Get in the ball.
That is indeed what happens in Soul Link. Yeah, so after that, like they're talking, do something with your life. Don't be an accountant. Blah blah blah. Be a Pokemon trainer. And then Tim gets the call. Hey, your dad is dead. Or I don't know if they use the word dead, but he's missing. He's
He
gone.
fainted.
Your dad is dead. You shouldn't have made fun of that
He
Cubone.
faded.
And Cuban's like, takes a lot of courage to wear your dad's skull, huh?
Can you imagine? If that had been like a bit towards the end when the Ditto turns into Cubone, he's like, now your dad's dead.
It was the Ditto the whole time. Ditto was the friend. He was the Cubone.
Here's the Mr. Mind.
Can you imagine? Imagine that shit. It's the whole way. They were just like Dittos the entire time.
Somebody's like, I did notice a lot of characters wearing sunglasses.
you see
the whole
fucking
Square
Machamp
Squad.
out there directing traffic with sunglasses.
That's the Squirtle Squad.
I did just think about something. So there is a part where the person with the pink hair who is the Ditto with the sunglasses is at the fight.
Yep.
And she calls and talks. And she goes, the kid's here.
Yeah.
I got eyes on the kid.
Yeah.
I did just think about that.
But it's gonna be implied that maybe there is an assistant somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess we'll find out in Detective Pikachu too, because they did not talk about that again.
Next one might be called Detective yeah, it's
Detective E.
Detective Bruno. The thing is, I can't imagine they do a sequel
without,
just because the whole thing is Pikachu talks and he's a detective, and with the end of the movie.
With how they ended the movie, it's kind of hard for me to think.
They'd
But they
have
could
to be
do-
like
could-
revert, like Howard's back, he turned it back into a Pikachu.
I think the place my immediate mind went was he's gonna be a Pokemon trainer.
That's what I was gonna say.
For Tim?
They
Yeah.
could do a trilogy where now it's not Detective Pikachu, now it's what was this? Tim and they do like Tim and
Tim
Pikachu
and
Adventures or some shit like that.
something.
And they can do like a couple gyms and stuff like that. Because my original reaction was this movie wasn't gonna have any Pokemon battles. And I mean it still didn't. in theory.
It had underground battles because he goes to Rhyme City where it's like there's no Pokeballs, there's no trainers. Like this is a community where you're a person, you have your partner Pokemon, and
By the way,
live
that
your
sounds
life.
horrible.
If
you only
you don't
Gengar
want to be a
and Shelter-
trainer, I think.
It sounds contradictory to what we know.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because it's kind of been explored in the game world that certain types of raising Pokemon are different. Like
Yeah.
Rangers. Rangers don't catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
So
We just borrow them when we need them.
We just go, you're mine.
and I think that's kind of what this movie was trying to base off of. Is like this is a different place, so you're kind of going to see some different things going on
I think after the underground battle they can pull off an actual like
Sure.
gym battle. Like,
I guess it's just I don't know if it feels like it's Tim's direction because the most battle they did was the Charizard thing, which didn't really. I mean, Pikachu then fought against Mewtwo towards the end, but like they, yes and no. He learned Volt Tackle, sent him through a building, But I think they left it heavily like Tim's like this detective thing was kind of fun. I want to be like my dad. Like if I saw a sequel, I'd see it as Tim and Dad's a detective, teaching Tim
Detective
how to really. I think it probably should be called Detective Pikachu because marketing is how you do it. I just think they'll lose that value of Pikachu talks and like we
They're
don't
gonna
have
call it-
Ryan Reynolds as
You're
Pikachu.
so stupid. So
Yeah?
idiotic.
Thanks.
Detective Mewtwo, bro.
Yeah.
Money. That's pretty money, bro.
I don't want to see Mewtwo with the hat and just
Just
a
Mewtwo
magnifying
like this?
glass.
Might be a
His
walk.
eyes are already
Hear me out.
huge.
Next movie is Tim and the Pikachu,
Tim and the Pikachu.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
and then we get
That's actually
Power.
not a bad idea, and that's like some Freaky Friday shit.
Yeah.
And you know how they like to do sequels with that?
Could you imagine how much cooler it would have been if Tim was the Pikachu? He'd be like, I know all the moves I can learn. He would have been like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Or do you think they would do some shit in the sequel where Mewtwo's like, I'm gonna need you two to like work together again? And then it's just like Ryan Reynolds being the smart ass, like, what do you mean two? There's three of us here. Damn it! And just Pikachu's like swearing because he's back in the body.
Yeah, Tim gets to the city, does the whole, meets the police, goes to Dad's house, gets his stuff. There's a disgusting, like, yet kind of cute moment on the train where Lickitung-tongue's just, hey, buddy, what do you want? And he's just like, you're a stranger. And just like,
Anybody's like a tongue?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
it was cute. I was like, yeah, this is the cutest thing I've
They
seen.
made Lickitung look really good too.
Yeah. It was weird that he like showed up without his tongue out. Like he was like just a closed mouth like a tongue, and then
You know
like,
what that reminded me of? You know those bubble gum things that you buy and you.
The Hubba
Bubble
Bubba,
Bubble.
yeah.
That's what Lickitung
the
reminds
bubble
me
tape.
Yeah.
Bubble tape. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You seem like you're down. I'm gonna lick you.
I hope you feel better, bye.
Oh, it was nice not having, apart from Pikachu, not having Pokemon talk.
Yeah.
And
Other
using
than
the
Mewtwo for
expressions
that,
too, because the other Pokemons you can tell when they express themselves, when they like something or don't like something. So, yeah.
Yeah, Tim goes to the house, goes to clean it out, runs into a Pikachu. He's like, "What the fuck you doing at my dad's house?" And he's like, "All right, look, I don't know who you are. I'll electrocute you if you fucking touch me." And that's when they're like, "Oh, you can hear me talk. I can
Down
hear
the stapler.
you." Yeah, and so they're like, "All right, cool. We know we can talk." Tim's uncomfortable. Pikachu's like, "Let's go. I finally have a partner, and now we're gonna do this shit." But while he was looking through the house, he found like the gas, which then he let out the window, which is what pissed off the APOMs. And then that's like.
Which spreads like a certain gas from the power of us.
It
It's
was
like,
fucking.
why?
It was fucking effect spore right out the window.
Except it didn't paralyze them.
I obviously don't know enough about chemistry because apparently a lot of these gases just expand.
Yeah, dude. Right
It's
there.
gas concentrate. Add a little bit of oxygen. And just fucking.
But this is one of the Pikachu lines that I just like. It kicked off. I'm like, yep, Ryan Reynolds said this. But as like the APOM comes in and starts attacking Tim, Pikachu jumps to the counter like, all right, I'll get a knife, and just like starts looking around, and like he picks up Tim's like, bad idea. He's like, you know what, you're right, bad idea. Let's not do that. Oh, yeah. There's just great bits for Ryan Reynolds comes in, but basically they get out of there, and that's when Tim and Pikachu are like, oh, I'm Pikachu's dad's partner, Tim is dad's son. Now we gotta work together. Let's go. They go to the cafe, talk about what's going on. Pikachu's like, he's not dead. Trust me. He's out there. I can feel it in my jellies. And that becomes like the reoccurring line of it.
I think Tim says that at one point.
Yeah, he says like, I can feel it in my jellies. Like, I made that up.
It's not a thing. People don't say that.
I like the scene with the. Does anybody hear this? And it's like Pika Pika.
Yes,
to the people.
Yeah.
Man, can you hear this? It's like, Pika Pika. She can't hear me, kid. I'm trying, yeah, because I think that's when Tim runs out in the street. He's like, "This Pikachu can talk. This APOM got angry. I sniffed something up my nose. Wait, no, not like that. Like," and he's like, "Oh no, crack. No, messed it up. No, everyone thinks I'm weird."
That wasn't that. It was a gas. No, hold on. Yeah.
I think the comedy was on point on here, by the way. You know when you watch a movie and the comedy's kind of forced?
Yeah.
Here, it was very like well placed, and the delivery usually was pretty good.
I think, and it's not like I want to give Ryan Reynolds all the credit, but I'm sure he had a big deal with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I think so,
Deadpool
too.
hits the same way, where it's like Ryan Reynolds probably said this, like, that's perfect. We're gonna take it back, say it again. Like,
Do you know when you
Not
watch
my hit.
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and you have like they try to pair them up, and where you have like the serious person and the goof.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like, where Pikachu was the goof the whole time.
Yeah.
But Tim was really good at bringing it back to like reality,
Yeah.
and it was really nice.
yeah, Tim was like the punching bag. He was the one the punch.
He was a
line
straight
on his
man,
head, yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then later when they meet up with Lucy in the closet, and she's like, "You don't want to go to the docks alone at night." He's like, "I'm actually really good at being alone at night." Wait, well, yeah. And Pikachu's like, "Have you ever talked to a girl?" Like, it's, But yeah, so after they do a few other things, whatever, we're just gonna skip ahead to the underground fight stuff because that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Um,
We skip it over because Mr. Mime happens first, right?
does
Yeah.
Mr. Mime?
Mr. Mime happens
You're
first.
right. It is.
Yeah.
That's his
So
informant.
that was a
thought it
good
was right
scene.
before.
That was a good scene, but like you said, if it wasn't, they shouldn't have
In
put
the
it
shows?
in the trailer. You said that. That scene shouldn't have been on the trailer because to me that was easily could have been the funniest part of the whole thing. But we already saw because they played the entire scene.
Yeah, the
And
whole
the-
bikes. Yeah. Now they didn't show well, they showed a good bit of it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the you can shove it part. They did not basically Tim doing the whole gas pouring thing is like the only thing they really show in the trailers. But yeah, I think they should have saved more. of it.
Because that was like one of the scenes like that suffered because of the trailer. Like
Also
I'm like,
hated
all
that.
right, come on, let's get this going. I already know the joke. I know the punchline. Let's just move this along. Fight.
I hated that, by the way, that Tim grabbed the gas can because it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like I don't know.
It always seemed like one of those in a small enclosed area. It's a little bit of like a Mr. Mimes in his universe, and in here, if you don't abide by my rules, you can't win. When Tim goes, all right, cool, I'll be a mime. When he decides like to play along, oh, I hit my head on something that's not actually there. With Pikachu being like, I'm gonna punch you. Ow, why is there a wall? You can't actually make walls. When Tim's like, yes, he can, and that's where I could beat him in his
I
own
see what you're
game.
saying.
That's how I always took it. Obviously, the anime does it very differently, where he actually makes.
I do like when like
whatever,
the gasoline gets on Mr. Mine. He's like,
but-
and
yeah,
he's like, that was
Yeah.
pretty creative.
it's great. I love it. And then, like he goes to light it. Like he's putting out these invisible matches. He's like, fine. It's cool. Okay. Walks back out, lights the match. He's like, all right, buddy. If you don't tell us, and that's when he's like, all right, over here, go, talk to the whoever, whatever. And then accidentally drops the match.
That's
and
so
Mr. Mime's
great.
like, and then it just cuts. I'm like, Mr. Mime might be dead. Because I don't think we see him again.
I'm pretty sure they killed him after that.
He has a heart attack and then he's just laying there.
But it was one of those situations where it's just like, he killed himself.
Yeah.
So okay.
Mimes.
Tim put the gasoline.
There's also Pikachu outing himself the entire time that scene where he's just like, I push everyone away, and that's why nobody loves me.
Yes.
He was so self-aware.
Yeah, he just keeps like outing himself to the Mr. Mime.
Doing the charade. He's like,
Yeah.
So
push,
I think
push everybody,
because-
like, you can shove it. Like,
Because of the popularity of this movie, I think that's why Ash got Mr. Mine in Pokemon Adventures.
probably.
Yeah, because that's such a weird Pokemon to give him, especially when we have an entire new gen.
It hasn't become Mr. Rhyme yet. Can he do? Is that going to happen? Do we know?
No,
Blair-
but
it's
uh,
not.
But I'm
It's his,
assuming
yeah,
it-
it's his mom.
Shit.
Is there? Yeah, but there's not like a transitional thing of like he's been in Galar and now he's going to
So he
become.
gets-
no, because
You have to evolve from Mime Junior
Into
into
Mr. Ryan.
Galarian
Or Mr. Mime.
I'm just saying that's fucked up. Imagine Ash getting Galarian, going home, being like, "Mom."
But now keep
I
in
got
mind,
you
it's
another
also
Mr. Mime.
anime. They can find a way to make it.
Well,
If they
sure.
wanted to make it Mr. Mime, they will find a way.
They'll feed him special ice cream.
Yeah, honestly,
We're
like
good.
the way that they do like Ash Greninja or like they do like all his special Pokemon and stuff like that, I can see them doing that. I think there's marketing power in keeping Mr. Mime, just because.
He's a bit Unite now. Whole 9 yards. Yeah. After Mr. Mime, we go to the underground. It's called the Roundhouse,
which is really cool introduction
yeah.
of the Loudred.
They're so fucking badass, dude. I am whatever, like so on Loudred, but the fact that they were just speakers for a big dubstep song moment inside of a battle.
That's why I talk about
is
concept,
so
like
cool.
proof of concept. This movie does proof of concept better than all of the movies.
So
Yeah.
the roundhouse thing, when he did the whole like they're at the round, I took that as the science place at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they going there already? What the fuck?
It's like we got it.
Yeah. And then they went to the underground battles, and I was like, okay, sure, yeah, that's better than just going straight to the end.
Yeah, they walk in, Gengar and Blasters are fighting. I don't know if they ever gave this dude a name, but SA in the coat was all like, yo, I know that Pikachu, he fucked up my Charizard, and he had like the matching scar that went from like Charizard's eye down his like torso. He's like, we're fighting again, and I'm gonna beat you this time. And Pikachu's like, I don't remember, but okay, if I gotta fuck you up again.
Bro, that was Ash, bro.
Yeah, of course, he was
I
just
came
like,
in, clapped
Ash had a detective hat for a minute on his Pikachu. I thought it was him.
Which that warm up dance he does.
Well, you know what they could do? They
I've
can do
never
a
seen it.
prequel. They can do a prequel for the movie and show Tim's dad with Pikachu, And
That'd
they
be
show
cool.
him coming here trying to get information.
Yeah. I would watch that.
Yeah.
Pikachu Zero.
Pikachu Zero. So they do the fight, whatever. Pikachu can't get it up. He can't fight. He's like, I don't know how to use my electricity. Sorry. And then as Charizard's about to just murk Pikachu, Tim comes in, saves the day.
Tries to kill him.
Stomps on the
Stomps on
Charizard.
on the tail fire. Tries to kill the Charizard.
Yeah, but then Homeboy comes in like, hey, don't touch my Charizard, and like gets knocked down. All the R spreads, and every Pokemon here is now going crazy.
Very
That's when-
odd moment where
Yeah.
he's just like, what happened? Does it hurt? Like, what happened?
But like the R hits the Loudred, and they're just like they start tweaking, and then just like they all scream at the fish tank,
And then the music changes. It's really, really cool.
It's the Loudred are so great. It's such a subtle thing.
I love the little kick.
Yeah. Or I feel like the if you play Pokemon, I feel like there's so many parents or friends or girlfriends that went to see this with people who played Pokemon, but they didn't themselves. So you see Loudred as a weird purple rectangle thing with a mouth.
It's Domo, dude.
Yeah, but I think if you know like Loudred and the Whismur, like the noise and everything, that could be a really cool sound type, but Game Freak's too much of a coward to do it. I think I would have been like, it was such a fun moment to be like, yeah, Loudred.
They could also use Noivern and Noibat.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
Chatot, Chime Echo, Chime Chow. I can go on and on about why there should be a sound type.
should be a sound type. Game Freak.
Jigglypuff.
Man up. Or woman up. Just be better.
Really?
Just be better.
Rillaboom.
Yeah, but as they like come back in, and then Charizard's like, all right, now I'm gonna fuck you up. Pikachu's like, all right, if we evolve this Magikarp by kicking it, and then like,
Which is a reference to the anime.
yeah, he's like, I thought that looked different in my head or something like that. And then finally evolves, just washes him out. Charizard might have died.
Charizard got really sad.
I like when he like kicks and it turns into Gyarados and he's just like, Tim, I may have forgotten that I can't swim. And it just like
It's not even like a big heavy thing.
he
It's
just like
almost-
lets out water.
It's almost like he had some weird thing happen inside when he evolved, like something got stretched, so he had to just puke, and he was like, and just like washed him out the door with a tsunami. Yeah.
Thankfully, the Charizard didn't die. Its tail fire was still on fire.
Good for him. Good Charizard.
Which I like how they went the route that Pikachu can't use any of his abilities.
Yeah.
He can't use any moves. Like he's just like he's just trying to take like a shit in the fight. No, not working this time. It's not coming out.
I can't do it when people watching.
Get me the hell out of here.
Charizard just seemed easy to beat. You just stomp out the get a fire extinguisher. You
Just
can
throw some
ruin
rocks
his
at
whole
him.
life.
I mean, realistically, Homeboy should be able to just fly away if you step on his tail, but he was in a cage in the ground. So I'll give Tim the benefit that he was thinking smart. Outside that arena, Tim would have fucking fried. Like, if you played Unite when it's like, I'll kick your ass, Charizard, he's like, "Yerp." Like that's just annoying.
Humanity just picks Tim up and just seismic toss him.
It gives you a little.
Pikachu's just next to a folded pile of bones and saying, oh, damn.
See, Tim should have seismic tossed the
No.
Charizard.
No, okay, the thing we have to do, because Shang-Chi hasn't come out yet at all.
It will be out by the time this episode comes out, though. So I hope you guys enjoy the movie. Go see
Connecting
it.
this to
We have to compare the cage fight scenes.
I want the,
one
I
guy's
want
a
Wong,
monster, but yeah,
Wong to
sure.
go in and start trying to stomp out Abomination's tail. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We have to see
Abomination's
which
tail.
movie did it better.
Well, Shang-Chi suplexes Abomination. We have an answer.
One suplex, that's all this
Yeah,
needed.
that's all it's needed.
Oh, Resident Evil 4,
So
I
they
love
they get arrested at this
Yep, so they get arrested, go back. Tim's like, hey, you know, my dad's not dead. Pikachu knows it, blah, blah, blah. We're all good. We can find my dad. And Lieutenant Yoshida, I
Yeah.
believe his name, shows the footage of like the car getting flipped over. He's like, look, trust me, your dad's dead. So they have their like, let's sit on the fountain. Like, man, that sucks. I thought we were onto something.
This is one of my like first points of the movie where I'm just kind of like, okay, huh? And I'm not sure if it was purposeful, but the police seem useless,
Kind of.
and I
Yeah.
think maybe that's the reason why. But like, part of me would have believed like they never found a body. Like,
Right.
wouldn't that have gone on a record and somebody would have
He was
searched
incinerated.
longer?
The
I
The
don't
car
know.
was empty, so he was gone. He's dead. Sorry, guys.
Not even ashes, not even bone.
Yeah.
The world will turn to ash. Like
Lugia,
Lugaya?
Same Earth.
Oopa.
he got sucked through a Hoopa portal.
although they do live in the world of Pokemon, so I guess spell of the unknown. Bodies can just disappear.
Ryan Reynolds versus
Something
Palpatine.
that I hate it.
So John was, everyone's here like Pokemon bad, and John's like, someone fucking ate him, guys. Like,
Yeah, like,
that's why there's nothing
It's
left.
probably gulping.
It's a Pokemon world.
Oh shit, a dead body. Freebie.
There was just some.
I'm just saying, Tepig follows pigs. Pigs eat anything. Just saying, if
It was
you want to
probably-
kill someone and hide a body, you feed it to a pig.
Probably just an orphan out there who was like, I wish I had a dad. And then Jirachi was like, bet. And went in and said, come here, Ryan Reynolds.
It was the Cubone. The Cubone was like, I want
You
to.
That's a spell don't know. Like, what I would
You
tell him,
are daddy.
Yeah, Jirachi comes down. You are Papa.
Yeah.
And he whips him on the nose, and
And then
that's sort of one way.
it's just Ryan Reynolds in a Genghis Khan costume carrying around the Cubone.
Dan, what do you think of the Greninjas?
They're so cool.
Yeah.
They're so
They're
cool.
like coked out of their
So
mind.
this is
Yeah.
the
So we
second
do see one Greninja at the beginning when
Yeah.
Tim gets there.
Yeah.
And just the way he like, because we normally see Greninja like down and like ninja
How
style.
tall he was.
Yeah, but seeing him
Them
standing up
is
straight
horrifying.
and just they're so cool, dude.
They can stand up straight, weirdly
Yeah.
enough.
Right, like normally in the anime, if we do, it's like out of action, like Ash is talking and Greninja's just like just chilling.
Hello, my
But, like,
lady. Hello, my baby.
Yes, can you imagine? Oh,
that'd be
does that
funny.
animation
That'd
exist?
be funny.
That probably's out there.
There's an animation of Greninja as Kermit, so it has
That's
to exist.
awesome.
So
I want a Greninja doing the little Lipton tea sip thing. I need that.
It's a perfect emoji
This
for
is
it.
the second time that I can't remember what the other medium is, but I'm very positive there's another medium where Greninja's the bad guy. Or they're bad guys.
In Diancie, he was.
Diancie was
That's what
kind
it
of
is,
a bad
yeah.
guy.
So I think that he's become the new stereotype, like easy to take down.
He's dark type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And it's because the RPG aesthetic sees the thief.
Yeah.
It's real. But yeah, the police are like, nah, he's dead. Trust me, your dad's dead.
And you're going crazy.
Yeah, so they
Take
go
some
out.
time for yourself.
They sit at the fountain, just kind of talk, and they have like a heart to heart of Tim's like, my dad at one point, like he left as a kid. He was like, I'm gonna make it up to you, and I'm gonna bring you out to live with me. I didn't want to go, so that's kind of on me. Like if I would have just gotten on that train and went, I would have known my dad before he died. Pikachu's like, I don't remember half my life. I just know I'm a detective, and I wish I knew the answer to this, but I guess we've come to the end. We don't know what to do now.
Did any of you guys play Detective Pikachu?
I did not,
No.
but
I
after this, I wanted to. I just
So
didn't
my
want to
wife
go to DS.
did, and she knew the ending, and she never said anything.
Okay.
And I remember going like, "What?" when it's finally revealed. She's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You knew this the whole time?" She's like,
Yeah.
yeah," because she played the game. She was because when the game came out, I was like, "I'm not playing this game. It looks fucking stupid." But I did get the amiibo for it, and
100%.
huge. Massive,
Yeah, that
huge.
thing's fucking big. I thought it was gonna be like regular Smash size. Like, nah,
I think-
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, that threw a
Make a
curveball at me.
statement on your shelf.
That was a curveball for me. I was like, whoa. Even though they imply so much, the second view of it, it's
Yeah.
implied so much. That there's
They put it next to a DS XL, and it's like, oh, it's pretty small. I was like, nah, I think some fucking. I wish I had a second one so I could just have it and be like, look at this. But,
It's just it's such a height wise of this chicken.
yeah, big, yeah, give or take, it's pretty. It's as big as this fucking sand strip. But no, here Tim's just like, look, I've been an asshole to you. I'm sorry, and my dad's dead, but you still have a problem, so let's figure it out. And this is when the car pulls up, and that's when Pikachu's like, oh, that's a bad guy car. Yeah, he makes the comment. But yeah, Dad comes in. He's like, hey, I hired your dad to go find Mewtwo because my kid's trying to fuck up the world, and he's in charge of the police and the news, and my kid's the bad guy, but I'm old and senile. I can't stop him. So I got your dad to go get Mewtwo, and I don't know what happened. So now you got to go figure it out.
By the way, crazy hologram technology.
Yeah, yeah. He shows like the moment of the crash where you see Dad crawl out. Mewtwo like zaps Pikachu and then carries Dad away. And again, up to this point, like they don't show Dad; they show him as a silhouette, but they don't like show his face or
He's
anything.
got a beanie on the entire movie.
That's why I wear it.
So you hide your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that was
Danny's
Danny if he didn't
ditto.
introduce himself.
Part of me was just like, okay, so they hired Ryan Reynolds to do the voice. and then just to do the ending. Everything else was somebody else.
Yes, they get Lucy. They do that fun little thing at the cafe where like, don't talk to me, sit back to back, and they fuck the whole thing up. So they just sit there like, all right, we have the lab, let's go. They do a great thing on the way over. We talked about this earlier in the car with the Pikachu in the booster seat, and then Psyduck being like, I have a headache, but like if you massage my feet, it'll feel better. And then Pikachu just like does the thing the talkie Pokemon does by translating what he says. He's like, hey, if I massage your feet, we won't blow up in the car. All right, that's fine, bud. Just keep it easy. We're all good. I don't want to die today.
Your Pikachu's so strange. I never seen Pokemon wear hats before. That seems like a very odd comment.
She's like, that's not funny.
They wear costumes like all the time. Like, what's going on?
She's like, well, my Psyduck doesn't wear a hat, so you're the weird one.
I think Psyduck killed it, dude. Like,
Psyduck's great.
No, but
Psyduck
you put your
alone-
Psyduck in a booster seat, so like,
Next, like if they do a sequel and Psyduck's not in it, I'll be pretty upset. I think he stole the show. Any scene that he was in, it was just great. Because
Yeah.
before this, Pikachu was
You
the
just
comedy.
like Psyduck.
Before this, Pikachu was like the funny guy, and then they added Psyduck in, and it adds more.
Yeah. Psyduck, Mr. Mime, Pikachu, I think primarily just witty wordplay.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Mime is the asshole gag. He's just like, this guy's a prick, but he's funny in doing it. And then Psyduck's like I'm kind of dumb, but like, this is cool. I can be funny too.
He's a lovable idiot that can end the whole world.
Yeah.
You're putting me in the back with the bomb.
with the
Okay,
ticking
great.
time bomb. Yep.
As they get into the lab, they do this really cool like camera movement where like it looks like you're sitting upright, and then Lucy like comes through the floor and starts to like flip upside down, and then the camera moves and she like drops from the ceiling. I'm like, that was cool. That was dope. And then Tim just fucking flops and lands on the ground. I thought that was great. But yeah, this is where we see the Torterra Garden for the first time, which I don't know how it read for you seeing it for the first time. Going back a second time, like this is where the shit happens. At least when we are introduced to the Greninja Garden, the Torterra Garden.
Mm.
So I don't know when you saw the two Torterra buried in the ground. Did you think anything of it, or?
No, because they were like, this is the place where we blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So like, watching it, I was like, okay, sure, yeah. They're testing something on the Torterra,
Some Torterra.
and then they're like, these are Greninja, and I was like, those things are cracked out of their mind.
Well, they show you the Torterra because there's a very small Torterra in one of the like the glass things.
Yeah.
And there's one that's like that. We see that one obviously before we see the big ones, and I'm like very positive Torterra are way bigger than that. And I didn't think nothing of it until I realized like they're experimenting with them, and then yeah.
And then shit really goes. I think the whole thing's cool, and I think leading up to it, you don't know what it is until you know what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'm not sure why the Earth is tilting and flipping and whatever, but
For that longest time, I actually thought it was a byproduct of like the psi wave,
Right.
or whatever
like
side.
something happened.
They also didn't have that scene. Did feel like it didn't have to be there though.
Yeah.
That could be an entire plot of its own, and it might still be because research like that doesn't. I mean, you guys, we play Resident Evil games. There's not one research. There's always one in the North Pole. There's one in
It's
fucking
one-
Italy. But the
That's why
point.
Spencer has like so many mansions all looking exactly the same.
Yeah. So pretty much, I think that whole scene with the whole giant Torterras did not have anything to do with the main plot.
Yeah.
In a way, other than like this guy's rich and he does experiments.
It was a big convoluted way to knock out Pikachu.
That's my biggest gripe with it, is the fact that
And don't get me wrong, that's one of the coolest scenes.
Yeah.
100%.
But it
it's
wasn't
like
needed.
it's like this is a really cool idea and thing. How do we show it off? Here it is. And then we need Pikachu to get injured. This is how we injure him.
Torterra move, rock,
by,
up,
hit,
smash.
by hitting him with a very tiny rock.
Yeah, that threw me off. So like, the smallest little pebble like hits him in the head, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it again. And I was like, oh, it's a bit. And then he like actually dies, and I was like,
Damn.
what?
Wrap up the
Yeah,
movie, dog.
so fun fact: Pikachu's skull it's not very dense. It's
Yeah.
it's like how like
It's like wet
bird-
pita
it's
bread.
Like how
It's
like
a
birds
rat.
have like hollow bones. Same principle. It's just Pikachu dies a lot faster.
Why the fuck does it learn Skull Dash then?
Listen.
Because fun fact, everything I just said previous bullshit.
Cool.
Electricity helmet. When he goes in, he's like zap, zap, bang,
He gets one good skull bash. That's
He dies.
In his life.
It's his
Once
fault.
he uses
it's
it,
like a bee. They,
Exactly.
There's one chance.
once you
He's everything
sting.
he's ever got.
Yeah, in the lab is when they're finding out all this information on like Mewtwo, what happened. They explain, or at least heavily imply, that this is the Mewtwo that we saw from the first movie from 20 years ago that escaped from the lab, disappeared, and they've recaptured it to study it for whatever regenerative.
Which is some
whatever
continuity.
thing.
That's pretty sexy for
Yeah.
continuity.
I liked it a lot.
That's a word.
Also, just recapturing Mewtwo.
Again,
Homie is he's
Mewtwo returns
dramatic
again.
voice.
Suicune, touch the water.
But Mewtwo can't get away, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he's
I was
like,
like,
oh
I'm
my
so
god, I'm
fucking
just trying to get him like Flurry. I can't get him.
Leave me alone. I left my clones on another island. We fucking lax.
I'm gonna break the machine.
He's like, he's
Part
like,
of
I
me-
can't leave my cave. Fuck, Shamrock Shakes are back.
In case the mic didn't pick it up, he said Shamrock Shakes are back.
Part of me is just like,
Um,
is this like a Princess Peach situation with Mewtwo, where he just doesn't
Keeps
learn
getting
his
kidnapped.
lesson? Like, what's going on
Just
here?
wait till Mewtwo Jr.
Yeah, after the chase of the Greninjas, Torterra, whatever, they get separated on these two separate like islands, and Pikachu's like, "Oh, we're separated from Lucy. What do we do?" And Tim's like, "I'm gonna jump." And Pikachu's like, "That's a great fifth option. Let's work on 1 through 4
It's a good
first."
line. It's a good line.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's
And
when they jump.
And then we
rocks
have,
fall.
then we have the moment where instead of Ash dying, it's like, this is where Tim dies. Credit rolls.
Yeah. So what
that
if
was-
Tim
that was-
punched it?
That was a very long fall, and Tim
Yeah.
didn't get injured at all. Yet Pikachu
He's
died
right.
by a pebble.
He did the thing where he hit his chest on the ground. I'm like, that should be shattered. That man should be dead. But he's
his
good.
breasts should be obliterated.
But yeah, after the Torterra thing, Pikachu's knocked down on the ground. Like, what do we do? Tim's looking for like someone to help. I need a healing Pokemon, and then this adorable little Bulbasaur just like wanders around the corner. He's like, "Hey, I need you." We skipped it earlier, but there was a thing where Pikachu was talking about Pokemon don't need to understand what you say; they know what you feel.
Yeah, they feel your intention.
Yeah. So like Tim's laying there like, I need Pikachu. He's talking to Bulbasaur, and Lucy's like, he doesn't understand you. He's like, but he knows what I'm feeling. And like he's like, I need your help. I need healing Pokemon. Pikachu's dying. And Bulbasaur's like, "Nah," and like leaves. He's like, fuck, I ruined it. And then the whole swarm comes back. Herd, flock. What do you call a group of Bulbasaur?
Bulbasaur.
A vineyard.
A vineyard.
A
I
salad.
like
A
that.
vineyard of Bulbasaur.
I vineyard of Bulbasaur. I
I was gonna
like.
say a salad of Bulbasaur.
Salad
I
ahead.
like vineyard.
Oh,
I
let's
like.
go ahead.
ahead of
I like
Bulbasaur.
A field of Bulbasaur.
Yeah, they come in. They're like, all right, cool.
And I
Follow us, Lucy. No girls allowed. Leave. And she's like, I'll meet you at the car.
How? Where? Huh?
By the way, it's just the scene with the Morlols, right?
Yes. Yep.
They look
right.
so beautiful.
They're great.
Yeah.
The Molos are adorable.
Lucy's
There's-
also apparently a pathfinder because she knows exactly where the fucking car is at this
Psyduck.
moment.
For Psyduck. Headache. Beep, 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 beep. Does Psyduck get teleported? I don't think so.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, thank goodness we have Signal out here.
You get something better.
Very,
Hard.
very few get teleported.
Yeah. Yeah, so the
Rock's is
Morlul,
one of them.
Bulbasaur lead 'em.
Killing her. She teleports away.
They meet the Morlul, and they're like, hey, here's a rock. Put Pikachu down. They all leave, and Tim's like, well, now what? And then Mewtwo just fucking pops up like, I'm waiting for you, kid. Heavily implying he's the bad guy. He's like, I needed the sun to do the thing I needed to do.
I love this moment when I first watched it because
Yeah.
the entire time I'm just like, I'm hyping myself up for a healer Pokemon. I was like, what healer Pokemon
I was
can they
like,
throw in
Celebi.
here? They can throw Chansey, they can do Aldino, they can do some legendary Pokemon. Mewtwo. Oh shit.
Suicune comes
It
out,
knows
just
recover.
jumps
So
on
I
Pikachu.
thought they were gonna use Shiinotic because all
Spritzee
the
and shit.
Morlols. I was like, oh, they're gonna use Shiinotic. And I was like, that's pretty freaking neat. Nope.
Chris died over there when I did the Spritzee Shinada. It's a bad time.
One really cool thing
Nice.
about the Mewtwo direction that is more prominent, I think, in this point of the movie than most of the others is the fact that they have 2, maybe 3 voices doing Mewtwo's lines
Yeah.
like together. And I think that's a really cool
Yeah.
interpretation because I guess we had that situation where it was originally a guy and then in Genesect it's a girl. So it's just like this is supposed to be a different Mewtwo or some sort.
It was
And now
all
in
those
this
voice
and now in this one it's 2 voices together. It's really neat.
Now, I forget here if it's Mewtwo that does it or if they saw this in the lab
That is a smart way of doing the voice.
with the.
Because I got fusion vibes from that.
the Mewtwo thing? Like, is
So
Mewtwo the one that reveals?
we did see something in the lab.
We
and
saw in
then
the lab that
Mewtwo shows off.
Dad was supposed to grant Mewtwo, and then he left.
Yeah.
Well,
Mewtwo shows off the crash, a little bit
Yeah.
more of the crash,
Yeah.
and says, "Thanks to you, Pikachu, I now know that all
Okay,
humans are evil."
so at this point
and
we
then it
know.
gets cut off.
Okay, so we know that Pikachu helped
Yes.
get Mewtwo
Yeah.
in the first place. So Pikachu's like, I'm the bad guy. Okay. So yeah, Pikachu thinks he's the bad guy because, you know, illusions and stuff.
Which
So,
was like during this moment, I flip flopped in like what I thought and was believing because I'm like, oh, Mewtwo, bad guy,
Yeah.
like it, and then I was like, wait, Pikachu, no, why?
yeah, so Tim's like, let's go home. We gotta figure this out. Pikachu's like, no, I'm the bad guy. Leave me alone. Shocks him, runs off. So when Tim goes back, Pikachu's like walking towards a bridge, and he finds like a Greninja star, which I'm like, all right, you did a lot of your research on Gen 1, and we're like, Ninja stars, it probably shattered into glass. Yeah, let's use this. Like, okay,
You know,
yeah,
water.
that's fine. Yeah, do your thing.
ice.
The water solidified, but it's a water type move.
I mean,
And
realistically,
Ryan Reynolds singing, "Teach Pokemon."
Yeah, which that's great.
I mean, realistically, will a shuriken made of water really
Yeah.
kill anybody? Unless it
It
was
apparently,
I mean,
causes,
water's
Explode.
pretty
it
sharp.
apparently causes a huge ass explosion, but leaves a little
Yeah.
ice star that's apparently,
Yeah.
apparently permanent ice.
Well, you ever see like the hydro lasers where they shoot like just that, you know? I guess it's just a very similar trace thing of water, you know? Like,
Until they show Lucario doing Bone Rush, he just goes,
He just pulls his dick out and beats him. Broke down tick.
Moving on.
yeah, this is the part where Pikachu puts it all together and he's just like, wait, Greninja star? Mewtwo wasn't the bad guy. He didn't blow up the car. The Greninja did because Howard
cracked
told him
out
to.
Greninja.
Yeah, so he's like, oh no, I gotta go help Tim.
Which, the minute he made that revelation, the first scene, Mewtwo's like, they're gone, or he's like, they're out. And I was like, what? And then he shoots out, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then, like, in context, I was like, oh, the Greninja were released. That makes sense that he'd understand and know that. Okay.
I love Greninja. He's so fucking cool. Tim goes back to town, tries to tell Dad. By the way, Roger showed up and kidnapped Mewtwo again with the drones. Like, I got him. Now we can do the thing.
Except he didn't talk at all.
Except he didn't talk. He
and
just
he was wearing sunglasses.
smiled and
because he
glasses.
was drunk.
But as he goes back to town,
I prefer that canon.
He was hungover.
he goes back. He's like, "Yo, Howard, your son stole Mewtwo." He's like, "Nah, I stole Mewtwo." It just fucking reveals him in a big old dome again. Puts on the headpiece.
What a twist!
Well, he had it on when he
Oh,
entered.
you're right,
Yeah,
he did.
and he's just
He had
like,
it on.
it's
He
for
said, "I
the
did
best,
it."
Tim. And he's like,
None of us saw that
Yeah.
coming.
He goes,
Turn-
I did it. Oh, no, I did it.
Oh, sorry, wrong reveal.
Yes.
I already have the thing on.
Scooby Doo.
But yeah, so he transfers his body, his consciousness, into Mewtwo's body, and then merges. And he's like, "All right, I've evolved. I'm at my ultimate form. I now am my head in Mewtwo's body. All people should be like this, because if we're all Pokemon, we're strong physically, we're strong mentally, and we win."
Which is such a radical jump to conclusions.
But you know, old man's got it figured out.
Still final.
It's like, yes, this is great for me, so that means it's great for everybody.
But you know,
Like, oh shit, hang on.
a piece of headgear being put on and actually fusing people and Pokemon together. Same in principle.
Yeah.
So what happened when a parent gets turned to a whooper and they can't hold their fucking child because they have no arms now?
Just bash your head.
It doesn't matter. The dude's evil. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I just imagine like
Evolve, become a Quagsire, get arms. Dummy.
Mom walking down the street, like holding the baby, whatever. Whooper's just walking alongside. The Mewtwo comes in, zap, and merges them together. And Whooper's like, and then just like, baby splats on the ground, like,
I think you're gonna say she turns into a Scyther and like,
Oh god.
I really like to imagine that he didn't even make a new headpiece. That's just XP share. He's just the first human to ever try putting it on.
just rewired it.
Yeah.
Just up. Yeah.
I get the experience of
just
the
switch to W
Pokemon.
for Wombo.
Yeah.
By the way, we also learned at some point that R is made from a chemical of Mewtwo, and
That's right,
I'm not
yeah.
entirely sure why that's prevalent, but okay.
Like I said, they did. So coming down to it, they did a lot of research. It's almost like what we complain about for some of the other movies that like Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, where like, hey, these other gens exist now. We want to see them. It's like they did Wingull. They did this in the most minimal step that they could of like, hey, we used most of Gen 1. You see Sneasel, you see Trico, they don't do anything other than be cute and do the thing. The lore they did for Mewtwo was like, we could squeeze this in, but like the Greninja Star stuff, we didn't see Golur could do anything. Anything after Gen 1 was just kind of
Non-existent.
do what research we can to understand what this creature is, and then just wing it. Because most of the plot was from Gen 1 stuff. So.
And it's funny you bring that up because there was a very brief moment before we saw the headpiece come out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to like the unknown were going to be used in some capacity because Dante, you want to say you want to
Spell the unknown.
literally I thought they were going to pull like that kind of like with like the giant like warping, and they just did. I'm like,
I am Mama.
Howard just turned into fucking Entei behind the desk.
that would have been so much better.
Actually, that kind of was really fucking weird, but like, I kind of would be all about it.
Yeah.
This is my next evolution. Become Mama.
I thought they were gonna go that route, but then seeing this, I'm like, oh, okay, because like the whole movie would like it was like on an incline for me. This is where it hit that very steady
this is the
decline
part.
happened.
This is the part of the movie where I started to go,
Yeah.
So
If I'm being honest, I would have loved the movie with no conflict. Just seeing the world, the way that everything was working, that was more excited. Looking at the background stuff from the snowball to like the city.
If we had a simple detective plot as opposed to this big legendary, I get that.
You know those slice of life enemies where it's like they go to the beach or they go to a park or something?
Yeah.
I would rather have that than all this conflict, just because as a Pokemon fan, I have dreamed of seeing Pokemon in 3D.
Yeah.
And I think this this movie did a really good job with the Pokemon and didn't need a plot that went as hard as it did. I think that's what hurt the movie for me.
I get it. That's fair.
They could have done a simple Team Rocket, beating the Shadow Pokemon, killing Kule's mom, and getting Justice arrested him, and that would have been better to me than this whole like plot twist and everything and unnecessary Torterra scene.
It's always really interesting to hear that because I think about it like we joke, but there's still always truth to it of like Charizard and Mewtwo and everything because it sells. Yeah. And I'm wondering if they did this movie, they didn't do Charizard, they didn't do Mewtwo, or at least didn't show them in the trailers. Like there was nothing about them to market people to come see this film. If it would have done as well as it did, if it would have been like, I watch Pokemon, so I'm gonna see it anyway. Yeah. Like what kind of?
If I'm being honest, I don't think it would have sold if they didn't show those two.
Right. So that's why I think like, what would they have done?
I would have seen it regardless.
Sure. Yeah. I think all of us could
I
surprise that.
think adding Charizard it's needed.
Right.
I think they could have done without Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Sounds like genocide.
that's partially.
Could have used
I
genocide.
had the same thought process.
So
as
the
well.
thing with Charizard, everybody likes Charizard, right? Yeah. It's just that we're tired of him being overused. But I do think Mewtwo's worst because Mewtwo's an actual quote unquote legendary whatever. So it's like every time we see him, he never gets used in the way that he should. Like Mewtwo's this all powerful Pokemon, but he's constantly getting caught. Yeah. He's this super powerful Pokemon, but it took like 7 drones to take him down. And it's like one of those things where you devalue the Pokemon when he gets taken down compared to Charizard, who like he gets overused, but like Leon made Charizard look like a complete fucking badass. No. Or you have Ash who has Charizard, shows up every gen and does this iconic segment toss. So I think Charizard being overexposed is not too bad. It's Mewtwo that hurts when it's overexposed because it's like he does lose his value. I mean, I think that the Gen 5 movie was the worst media I ever seen. Evolution was the worst media that I ever seen. It's not. I think Gen 6 was worse.
We decided to get to our personal list. We have 2 more to do today, and that one's we get to see what everyone else thought of every movie personally. But
Which I'm very much under the mindset we don't need a legendary in every film to make it sell. I think this movie could have done substantially better without it. Because I was kind of like thinking like back and forth. I think if instead of like using Mewtwo, if he used like a Gengar
or Alakazam, who's
like
like Q is
right,
that'd been really cool.
Like I'm like there's so many like other Pokemon that I'm like I really wish they would just stop using legendaries. Because I'm tired of that being like the main point.
I know it's not it unfortunately fits the criteria of a legendary, but Manaphy's whole shtick is that it can swap hearts and souls.
Yeah.
And part of me is like thinking I would have kind of enjoyed that Pokemon being taken advantage of in this movie as opposed to Mewtwo.
Right.
I'm really cool.
And it's not that Mewtwo couldn't do that in theory because it comes from Mew, and then I think Mew's the predecessor of all Pokemon.
It's one of those.
But that's something I have to leap to.
Yeah. But in the logic of like, I have this one tool that does it all, but I also have many tools that do different things that this also does. So why not use those for marketing? I get it. Like, yeah, Mewtwo can do it all, but what if I, use Manaphy, or if we used.
But you could have
Another
done,
cycle,
because the
but-
first thing I told my wife was that they could have done a normal Alakazam, and when they merge Mega Alakazam, and the casual person who knows who Alakazam is would have watched that movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could have gotten the same point across, because Alakazam is known as the most powerful psychic Pokemon in the Pokemon lore, not counting Mewtwo. So I feel like everything that Mewtwo was needed for, they could have used Alakazam for.
You hear that? Paramount? I think
Is
it
it
was your
Paramount?
fault. Is it Paramount?
Next movie, just use
Universal.
Sumeru for the villain. Use a Sumeru as the villain. It has huge powers.
Granted.
It's just walking by.
So just breaking the fucking city.
Granted, we're talking about this particular point of the movie, but I don't think this necessarily devalues the whole movie.
Correct.
No, yeah. I still enjoy the movie.
It doesn't at all devalue.
But I do agree with Chris where this is where the movie for me dropped
So,
drastically because I
I
didn't care
agree- I
for
agree
this whole
with that.
plot.
Did you, so this again, your first time seeing it, did you feel like this was the down?
So as I was watching, I was like, damn, this might be like my favorite one. And like as I was watching, I was like, yeah, okay, maybe top 5, top 10,
Oh, shit.
top 10.
So did that hit with the Mewtwo part? Or
What?
what-
As I was,
Top 20.
Maybe number 30.
does this count? Is this special? Oh no! As I was watching, I was like,
Can I slip the fucking Christmas episode in here?
as I was watching, I was like, this is so cool to see 3D, and like the magic was there, and then I was like, this is fun, this is funny, it's entertaining, and then it started to lose me with like when they got arrested. I was like, okay, and then they were like, now we're going to this place because I got intel in this place, and we're doing this and we're doing that. I was like, okay, cool, this is exciting again. And then the Torterra thing happened, and like the tiny rock lost me. Like immediately, I saw that, and I was like, oh man, poor Pikachu, he's knocked out. Oh, he's dead. Okay, cool. Great, awesome.
It was a ground type rock, so it was super
Right,
effective.
and my impression was
Imagine
like,
that was just a Torterra using like a small version
Rock
of
slide.
rock throw or something. Just
Yeah.
like he just went.
Magnitude 1.
I was about to say,
that whole like them walking with the Bulbasaurs, I saw that ending with Celebi, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. I get to see another legendary. Nope, Mewtwo gets yeeted, and then like the vision he shows them, I was like,
Mewtwo never learns.
okay, so Mewtwo's not the bad guy. There's no way that vision got cut off. And then like as it progressed, it was Ryan Reynolds doing the whole I'm the bad guy. Oh, I let him do it. Yeah, so I was like, okay. And then
selfish thing to say after you get brought back.
right.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So it started to kind of lose me, like from the Mewtwo getting snatched like onward, and then he goes back, and then like he's going to tell homie about his son, and Pikachu's like, no, it was Howard the whole time, and they like go to like intersect, and like when the intersection happened, I was like, okay, that's an interesting plot. I don't hate the whole like becoming a Pokemon plot, and then he's like, I'm going to make everybody a Pokemon, and I'm like,
X-Men one?
Why?
yeah, I was kind of like, okay, that's an idea, I guess, sure. And then like the Ditto, and I was like, oh, okay, that answers a question. Cool, I'm glad that question's answered. But also, like, he just said he was gonna turn people into Pokemon. How's he doing that? And he's like, I'm gonna use Argas, and I'm gonna anger Pokemon. And when Pokemon are angry, I can switch, make humans take over their minds. And I was like,
Okay.
There's just so much
Okay.
explaining as to why shit is
There's
happening.
there is a lot that's kind of shoehorned in here at the end to like make up for the plot.
I think I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself with this, talking about the next movie.
Yeah.
But I think Secret of the Jungle does a good job of making the big climax start right in the middle.
Yeah.
Where it's like the villain is winning,
Yeah.
and then being like, now as a group we can fix this. I think because this all happens at the very end, we have to be like, all right, this happened for this reason, and Guy did this because of this thing. Pikachu has to save the day in another.
I
10
think
minutes.
it would have been a lot cooler if Pikachu and a bunch of the other like Mind Swap Pokemon came together to fight Mewtwo instead of Pikachu using Volt Tackle twice.
Yeah. What was the most powerful attack?
And then Homie was like Pikachu wasn't even the solution. It was just Tim being like, hat off. Okay, you're which by
Pikachu
the
was the
way,
distraction. So
by the way, the balloons in the parade that's going on are filled with the Argas. Argas gets released. Mewtwo mass swaps everybody in the town, and then Pikachu fucking Volt Tackles him. Tim's like, I'm gonna take off your hat now. Guy goes back to being a regular person. Mewtwo swaps everybody back. And then when he swaps everybody back, Pikachu is secretly Tim's dad. Ooh, and
that was great. Yeah, that was like I was like, at some point I should finish the story.
Yeah.
But hey, we're here.
Yeah. while we're here,
Yeah.
that's the ending of the movie.
And Dad is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Dad is Ryan Reynolds, and
It was actually Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
which that was the biggest pop.
That was a
off,
fun.
'cause
I always
I
found
was
that
not
funny.
expecting
So,
actual
in
In
Ryan
the
Reynolds.
theater, and people were like, "Whoa!" Like audibly, you can hear
Yeah.
people saying "Wow"
Yeah.
because nobody expected that.
it's because the frame does not look like Ryan Reynolds because it's just like he's like popping his shoulders up.
Yeah.
He's like this huge, intimidating man versus like America's
That's
sweetheart
why,
Ryan
that's
Reynolds.
why I said like they didn't actually get Ryan Reynolds into the studio until they filmed that last scene.
He's just-
anything else was not Ryan
He's
Reynolds.
just dressed up like a gentle Starbucks dad too. Like he's like doesn't look like a
Got your
detective.
ticket, son.
Yeah.
You ready to go home?
But
and
yeah.
down?
He's like, I got your ticket, son. You're good to go. Tell your grandma I love her, and like, I hope she calls sometime. And
I
he's
think
like,
Grandma is Mom's mom. Correct?
yeah. And then he's like, Dad, I want to stay. And he's like, I'd like that. And then they walk off from the train
Want some
station.
coffee?
Yeah.
I think about coffee all the
I've been thinking about coffee all. I was also drinking that. I was also drinking. Thank you. You're spilling this all over my life's work. That's one of my favorite Detective Pikachu. That whole scenario. But yeah, there's a lot that just gets like ham-fisted in at the end.
And it's like all at the end, and it
Yeah.
is so much to take
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I 100% expected her to be like, right. I don't have to worry about calming Psyduck down. Get angry. Like I was waiting for that moment from Lucy, so she could just like nuke the fucking Mewtwo.
So I wanted in the anime. I remember there would be times where Misty would just punch the fuck out of Psyduck's head.
Yeah, to get him to have
And
it.
I was waiting for like a little like not like, but a gentle like knock. or,
Something
like,
to start a headache.
Some
yeah.
debris to come out and like hit him.
Well, at that point, it was her, so she could have just like running tackled a fucking
Yeah.
building.
She had done it herself and been like, I am psychic.
And here's another one of my
Now Danny's
I
right.
am
another one of my
not.
critiques about the characters at the very end here is like they shoehorn in a love interest that doesn't go anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Kind of. She's
I-
like, meet me tonight after my cool
I-
interview thing.
and I don't necessarily think was necessary.
So the only reason that would be justifiable is they do a sequel. It's the
Yeah.
only time that.
The son is kind of given a redemption sort of things, even though he didn't really need one because he wasn't the bad guy.
Yeah.
But then he's still an asshole. Like,
I think it's just the money. thing.
and even at the end of the movie, I don't. It's not like, oh, I'm glad you helped. It's just like, oh, he's still an asshole.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Tim was cool.
I get you, dog.
I kind of.
I liked him.
Tim
Yeah,
was
Tim's
generally
cool.
okay.
I like the actor. That was my first time seeing the actor. And I think
Yeah.
he knocked it right out
What's
of
his
the
name?
park.
Justice Smith.
Just
Yes,
yeah,
Justice
just-
Smith.
The fourth Smith child.
He should play 100% should play Miles.
He'd be a good
I'd be
one.
cool with it.
Yeah.
Willow Smith. Miles Morales.
I think the problem is if they're going to do Miles with Tom Holland, that just I think is taller than Tom, so it'll be one of those weird like, are you supposed to like?
Just switch the roles. Make it so that Miles is the.
It's okay. They changed Tom Holland so much.
Miles comes in to teach Tom like, yo,
Yeah.
Tom, be better, Spider-Man.
I've never even been seen. That's why they think you're the first one.
I mean, Miles Morales can be visible.
Yeah, he can be invisible.
But yeah, that was Detective Pikachu.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was your little end of the movie dance. What's up, John? You raising your hand?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see what you're doing.
Me first.
Ditto impression.
Yeah.
So just to kind of bring it all together here, because, you know, we got 2 more of these to do tonight, let's talk about ranking this movie. And of course, before we talk about where it belongs, we got to talk where everything else currently is. Not doing it in one breath, sorry, Dante. Number 23, Pokemon Black and White. Number 22, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Number 21, Mewtwo Returns. Number 20, Ranger Temple of the Sea. 19, 2000. 18, Forever. 17, Genesect and Legend Awakened. 16, Jirachi Wishmaker. 15, Kieran vs. Sword of Justice. 14, Power of Us. 13, Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. 12, Volcanion, the Mechanical Marvel. 11, Lucario, the Mystery of Mew. 10, Spell the Unknown. 9, Pokemon Heroes. Number 8, Zoroark, Master of Illusions. Number 7, Arceus and the Jewel of Life. Number 6, Pokemon the First Movie. Pokemon the First Movie. 5, Pokemon I Choose You. 4, Hoopa, Clash of Ages. 3, Giratina and the Sky Warrior. 2, Destiny Oxys. And number 1, Rise of Darkrai. Does anybody feel strongly where they think Detective Pikachu belongs?
6.
Between 5 and 10.
Yep. I agree. I think it's a good spot for you. I think it belongs in the top 10.
The new 7.
The new 7, so right above Arceus, below first movie.
That's a good place. I'd rather watch this
Yeah.
over Arceus, but I don't think it beats the first movie. I think that's a good place.
That's good. John, DJ, Chris,
Dijon.
I said it right out of the gate, 6.
6. So it's
Above the first movie?
above first movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can see it there too. I think with how highly we talked about I Choose You, I would put that first, and maybe it's easier to ingest the animated ones than a live action one just on a whim. I'd probably pick I Choose You, so I think I wouldn't go any higher than 6.
Dude,
But-
because like 6, like Kanai said, like I think like 6 and 10. Like
Yeah.
I feel like at max, it's 6.
Yeah. John, you got any feelings over
Yeah, I
that?
had to look at my list
Oh my
first,
God.
and then I had to look at our list.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
our list.
Oh,
I'll get this
John.
out of the way. Rest in peace, Spell the Unknown. You're no longer in our top 10.
It's in my top 10.
A moment of silence.
Sorry, buddy. No
It's in my
sweat.
top 10.
It's gonna be okay. We can do it together.
I have a weird feeling that you and I are going to have more similarities in our top 10 than we both think.
I'm interested.
This goes below Giratina for me and above I Choose You.
Okay, so for you, it's.
It'll be like the new number 5. Or sorry.
Are you looking at your
oh,
personal list?
I completely skipped Hoopa, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
wait.
sorry, I
Okay.
skipped Hoopa. This goes. Yeah, it goes above.
Above Hoopa.
So this will be the new. Yeah, this will be the new.
The new 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yikes.
I think we're all in the same general area, and I guess
Yeah.
the best way to decide that is to raise some goddamn hands. So if anyone wants to put their hands up in the air, starting in the middle here, is it above Zoroark, Master of Illusion? Is it above Arceus, the Jewel of Life? Is it above Pokemon, the first movie? All right, we have it there. But John, is it above I Choose You? Is it above Hoopa? All right, cool. So it would then be the new Namoro Sixeto. That's Japanese for number 6.
I won't
Nope.
fact check that.
Nope.
No, trust me. I
Nope.
did
One
the
Piece
research.
taught me numbers.
Yeah, well,
You should
debatable.
know what number 3 is in Japanese.
No.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know.
Yo, just don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Moving on.
Mr. 3,
You'll know what
Wax,
it-
that's what it is.
You'll know what it means in the future.
All right, sounds good. It's not me. Anyway, now that we've ranked Detective Pikachu, we can go through the list one more time, starting at the bottom. Now, at this point, we have one more movie to rank, Secrets of the Jungle. So, at number 24, Black and White. 23, I said 13. 23, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. 22, Mewtwo Returns. 21, Ranger and Temple of the Sea. 2000 at number 20. 19, Pokemon Forever. 18, Genesect Legend Awakens. 17, Jirachi Wishmaker. 16, Kieran vs. Sword of Justice. 15, Power of Us. 14, Diancie Kakuna Destruction. 13, Volcanion Mechanical Marvel. 12, Lucario the Mystery of Mew. 11, Spell the Unknown. 10, Heroes. 9, Zoroark Master of Illusion. 8, Arceus Jewel of Life. 7, the first movie. 6, Detective Pikachu. 5, I Choose You. 4, Hoopa Clash of Ages. 3, Giratina Sky Warrior. 2, Destiny Deoxys. And number 1, Rise of Darkrai. Perfect. Now, as we do every single week, it's time for the Pokemon Poll Challenge, where each week we will pick a Pokemon that appeared in this movie. We'll put them together into a poll, talk about the things that made them super cool and great, and why we think they should be the best Pokemon in this movie. You vote over on Discord, CGDannyB Community Discord. Link is in the description below if you wish to join for these last 2 movies and vote on your own accord.
And any in the future.
And in the future, because we'll definitely, whenever more movies come out, we'll come back, do some of this, talk about other polls. There's, definitive winner will be decided, I guess, at the end of this. So, as of last week, we just, as of recording this, the poll for I Choose You ended. Congratulations to Dante for getting the point for Sandshrew, as obviously was the cutest Pokemon on the list there. I mean, Squirtle was there,
What was
but
mine?
Apparently more popular than I thought.
you had...
He sweat.
Yes, Dante just...
Yeah, you were
Vaporeon.
like, you had 6. Yeah, I did have
I had,
Vaporeon.
I had
Yeah.
7 when I last checked, and I
Yours,
was like, damn.
yours was 6 or 7, mine was like 4. So me and Chris were tied, and then Chris was like, okay, at least I'm tied for second. And I was like, oh shit, I should vote. So I voted for mine, and he goes, well, I was
Yeah.
tied for second.
So, I Choose You, it was Dante with 6 with Sandshrew, Vaporeon with 3 for Kanai, Incineroar and Squirtle were each tied with 2, and Darkrai had 1 because John didn't vote for himself.
I wouldn't have made a difference.
You would have tied for 3rd.
If you're not first, you last.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby, baby. This week on the
Shake
poll
and
challenge for the penultimate episode, well, not penultimate poll challenge, Christopher, you get to pick first. What Pokemon from Detective Pikachu do you wish to pit against the other 4?
Ryan Reynolds, not Pikachu. I want actual Ryan
Actual
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Actual Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know about Danny, but I would allow that.
He'd win. There would be no votes for any other Pokemon. It'd be Ryan Reynolds would win.
Contemplating.
You
He
okay
was-
over there?
he was a
Hey,
Pikachu.
Wingle made it. So
Hey, think about it. Does the Pikachu rule apply to Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
The Pikachu rule applies to Detective Pikachu. So, we cannot pick Pikachu because Chris squandered that already.
Hey, that's
Is
fine.
Ryan Reynolds on the
I
Cerebral?
was going to say, like, if Ryan Reynolds is on the therapy,
Oh, under the Pokemon list?
picture of Ryan Reynolds.
So I got two Pokemon that I got Pluses and Minun, and then I got the Winkle. So I got
Out of
two
curiosity,
Pokemon.
so was Darkrai at the very end of I Choose You? Is that why Darkrai was
Yes.
in that? Okay.
He was in one of those flashbacks.
Because they were doing the flashbacks of the different areas?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was the computer.
Unfortunately, it does not look like Ryan Reynolds is listed under the Pokemon.
I tried.
Are there a lot more than like you thought on that list?
Yeah.
Danny's gonna go home and try and find them all. He's gonna like I Spy, mark up his model.
Where was Greninja? I didn't even see it. Yeah. There was the Graveler, which showed up for like 3 seconds.
Oh,
as it
yeah,
was
there
being
was.
shown.
Rolled up,
It
yeah.
was.
I couldn't tell if it was Graveler or Golem, but
Meme vote aside, Cubone. I
That's
really I adored that scene. I just love when he's running him down.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find the like PNGs of the Detective Pikachu art instead of using the Sugimori. I think it'd be funny for this one, but
I wonder if all the models are available.
Just imagine
I
just
have
having to
some,
grab
maybe.
just imagine having to grab a PNG of Ryan Reynolds.
It's-
That's the Pokemon. Just
I'll make him the imagine for the thumbnail. I just have Ryan Reynolds back there, like.
They
I'll
had
tweet
Ryan
that
Reynolds
so
on
we
their
can picture.
podcast, and then he asked to join.
I'll put that in the title, like Detective Pikachu review featuring Ryan Reynolds for the clickbait. Everyone's like, "Where's Ryan Reynolds?" I'm like, "Oh, he's."
I did that
Wait
one-
wait
I
till
did
the end
that
of the
one-
podcast.
Under the
I
table.
did that, Danny. I did that with my shield. I did shield Egglock, I think.
Yeah.
And then I made my character look like Riley Reid, so I put featuring Riley Reid, and I got a lot of views. But the second they saw that, I was like clickbait, they instantly laughed. Riley Reid. So all the comments like, "Where's Riley Reid?" I was like, "Oh, it's a joke," and then they just leave.
No. John.
Where's Riley
my
Reid under
favorite,
the
my
table?
favorite dog.
Arcanine?
Yes. I'm just kidding, Snowball.
I was about to say, can I get an actual vote?
I was hoping Danny was like, "Oh, Snowball." Like, no, Arcanine.
Room got quiet for a moment.
Yeah, I was like-
I felt like, so can I,
immediately
from my
remember I was
peripheral,
I was gonna say,
from my peripheral, so can I go?
it was like right at the end. There's always like right at the end. You decide to be like, all right. I know everyone has their go-to picks, but fuck them. I got to get some points on the board. Give me Arcanine.
I'm not winning. There's 2 weeks left.
You got a chance, maybe.
Last
We
week
started
was
out good.
13.
Me and
I
Danny
want,
started
I
out
want a
tied
lot more
the first
polls
couple.
in the last stretch than I thought I would.
Yeah.
At the moment, I think Chris is beating me by 1 point.
So me and Danny started
I-
out
Chris
tied
has
for the
8, I
first
have
couple
7.
movies, and I was like, "Yo, this is not." And then it just Danny took off. From
I
there.
did, and then Chris figured out the formula, and
Yeah.
then it's been.
I
Chris
just
and I have
started
been
going
talking
for my favorites.
Unless I pick Arcanine, and that's like a wrench in the points.
I'm gonna pound there to your. I'll be like, "Yeah, guys, cute dog, right?" Like, it's all overused, but I'll post a picture of Rumple.
So you're gonna say Arcanine's an overused dog, and Papa's gonna be like,
Uh,
"That's a cat."
Giddy.
Just gotta double check because I'm pretty sure. Okay, there he is.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Why
Papa, you need to learn animals.
Why
my
does
man.
that? Why do I always? Whenever he writes it, why do I always hear Seth Green in Chris's voice saying, "Kitty"?
That's your Papa.
Is that just
is.
me? Is
So
that
the joke right now in the community. So Papa hasn't like he's never told us his real name. You know, he's Papa Papuli on this. He's the guy who's here, chat, right? So the joke was like, what if Papa's just some celebrity that's just like watching this small town Pennsylvania streamer, and eventually he's gonna be like, hey guys, check out CGDannyB kind of thing. And I was like, Papa, if you tell me you're Ryan Reynolds, you son of a bitch. If Ryan Reynolds was like, I'm a big fan of Full House, Papa Papuli, and it's just like.
It's Kanye. That's why he hasn't finished his album. Don't. He's been watching you for years now.
Yo, listen, Kanye, if you're Papa and you're shouting me out, I'm ready. But speaking of Papa, I'm going to play to him this week.
He already knows.
No. I don't think Ari does this movie.
Oh, Joltik.
Yes. Double check. I'm like, was Arios in here?
So are you
No.
picking Blastoise or Squirtle, Danny?
I'm picking
Greninja.
Jolt.
He's picking Joltik.
picking
He's
Joltik.
gonna get a lot of votes with that one.
I want to pick Greninja. I want to do it.
he lost
Unfortunately,
last time.
both times, because my community is full of a bunch of dumbasses. that-
Whoa.
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't think you were going to pick, by the way, I got your pick wrong. I thought you were going to go with Machamp.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't double up. I
Just
feel
kidding.
bad.
I love you guys, by the way.
I triple up at this
You
point.
guys are
don't
lovingly
get
my
started.
dumbass.
I should have fucking picked the statue of Dialga. That was
You could have. You could have.
He's not in the list.
Oh, you couldn't have. Fuck you, John.
All right.
Danny's
So yeah, I'm
definitely
picking
gonna get
Joltik.
Phantom and Papa guaranteed.
So what up, little bug? Dante! Who will you be taking from Detective Pikachu?
I'm gonna cry.
Looking for Sandshrew?
No, you took my pick.
Oh, I took Joltik.
I
Oh,
said.
that is one of Dante's favorites. Which is a Gen
Shit.
5. Fun
Joltik
fact.
is a good
I love
favorite.
Jolt. Dude, Galvanish is amazing.
In Pokemon Snap,
Yeah,
they have like.
Octillery was in this movie? Where?
Yeah.
Very briefly in the background.
Yeah,
of
he's in the
studio.
background of the studio. Yeah.
I didn't even see him.
Yeah, he's just like looping around. He's actually really cute.
Damn, that was
You got
such a
Pangoro
strong,
and
that's such a
Pancham.
strong choice. I'm
There's a lot
heartbroken
of
right now.
Pangoro.
Mr. Mime.
Can I just opt out of the vote this week?
I mean, I can
I'm
do
not.
black.
I'm not winning.
Slacking.
Slacking was pretty cool. Let me
Hold
go
on.
with.
Surprised Dante's not picking Mr. Mime.
Jigglypuff.
Magic cards.
Arcanine.
Throwback to like the first.
The true
You
villain.
took Arcanine. Can I take Braviary? What you gonna do?
I'll go with Sneasel.
Sneasel? Okay. Sneasel!
By the way, Weavile could have worked too for the Greninjas.
That was
Because they
really
always
cool.
get put in that role where they're always
Yeah.
like the dark type. Being
All the
evil.
Sneasels were male in this movie.
Just type it in.
They were.
Just type it in.
Kanai or Braviary?
What?
No.
Mm.
You want the Snorlax?
I want Arcanine.
Oh!
Danny, you should put Bravery, put a picture of
Arcanine.
put a picture of the bird, and then have it say Arcanine in the bottom, and see if people will still vote.
I start putting name tags at the end the last week of voting. Like, this is Braviary, but it's just Arcanine.
No, just his, just his.
Just mine.
Can I get this image of my Sneasel?
Oh, he's so sad.
And you get to pick Joltik.
Alrighty, and just to recap, we have for the Pokemon Poll Challenge, Chris with Cubone, John with Snubble, myself with Joltik, Dante with Sneasel, and Kanai with Arcanine. That is right. This is the second to last week you guys get to vote. So again, go over to the Discord,
I get
link
an
is in the
actual
description.
vote next week, baby.
Go ahead and give a vote.
Get an actual what?
Vote.
He actually gets to pick something that's not one of his favorite
Not
Pokemon.
an Arcanine.
Go on in there, vote, talk to the community, get to know us. We do fun, cool shit all the time. Join the streams, you know those things.
Check the
But once again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Pokemon Gotta Watch Them All. I hope you're excited because next week we're watching our 25th movie, Secret of the Jungle, the newest one.
5th anniversary.
Our 25th anniversary. Weekly, that is. But yeah, really excited for that. We're wrapping up. But don't worry, that's not the end of the series just yet because we'll be doing a wrap-up episode. We're going to go through all of our personal favorite lists, see where we all put everything individually outside of the group list. And yeah, it should be a fun time. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hang around, and see you next time.